Okay. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever read a book or a series that is just so good that the first thing you want to do is go speak to a friend about it. See, I do not have friends. So you guys are my friends. You guys are the people I'm going to speak about. So this video is solely dedicated to this one series that I cannot stop thinking about. And I'm going to convince you to read these. If you have read them, please let me know what your opinions are on them and let's speak about it, because I need you to be my friend and give me your opinions. And if you have not read them yet, drop the book you're reading right now and get these books. So we are really talking about the Dreamer Billionaire series. It is a trilogy, right? It's not just fantasy books that you can call a trilogy, because this consists of only 3 books. And oh my soul, these books are so good. I just realized, and this is going to annoy me, 1, 2, and where is the number 3? That really what was I saying? That literally just took my whole mind to go off track, but it's okay, we'll survive. So this is about 3 brothers and each book is about a separate brother. I'm not giving any spoilers in this video, so don't worry about that. But if you want a video of me literally rereading these, highlighting all the moments and speaking about the spoilers, please let me know, because I would love to do that. I've read these like a month ago. I've never been more in love in my life with a book. This whole series is a 5-star and you should definitely read it. This is better than the Twisted series, and that I mean with no hate, because the Twisted series is really good. So just put 2 and 2 together, okay? So first up we have the fine print. Look how pretty this cover is. First of all, look how it's just so pretty. I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what the book is about. I'm going to give you the tropes in this book, and if the tropes does not convince you, I'll give you my rating as well. We are following Zara and Rowan. It is dual path. So in this book there's a lot of tropes. Look at me, I have my laptop here with all the notes. I don't know if you guys can see, with all my notes on it, because it's just so good. Look at me being organized. So fine print, the tropes are workplace romance, age gap, forced proximity, grumpy sunshine, rich hero, opposites attract. Those are so good, such good tropes. So these 3 brothers, they had a grandpa, but the grandpa is no longer, I don't know if I can say the other word, but if you know what I mean when I say he's no longer. And in his will, he left the 3 brothers a task to do for them to get their inheritance. Now, Rowan's task is to renovate Dreamland. Now, Dreamland is literally the grandpa's empire. It's like Disneyland in my opinion. There's rides, there's like food, this is just like a theme park. And Rowan has lost his creative streak in him. Their dad is literally the biggest jerk on this planet, and he always made fun of Rowan because of his creative side, and therefore Rowan lost the love of drawing. So when the grandpa tells him he needs to redecorate Dreamland in a great way, he is very mad and not wanting to do what he's supposed to do. He has no idea what to do, and somehow he gets the idea of putting like a form out there so that people can fill in online what they think should change in Dreamland. Great idea in my opinion. And Zara now, she works in the makeover section. She decorates kids. She's such a spirited, fun human. So when Zara gets home, she drinks a little bit too much and she's angry, and she ends up bashing one of the most popular rides in Dreamland. So obviously that gets Rowan's attention, and Zara's thinking she's gonna get fired. But that does not happen, and you see how Zara brings out the creative side in Rowan again. You get the workplace romance. You get to see how they work through things that happened in their past. I want this to be real life. I want these characters to be real life. It's so good. Rowan is the middle child, I think. I read this in one sitting. I absolutely love this. I read this through the night and I had school the next morning and I didn't care. I was just like, I need to read this. So get on it. The banter, the tension, the working through everything. It's just so good. And I highly recommend. I highly recommend. So that's fine print. Rowan and Zara. I gave it 4 stars. I liked it a lot. And I just read it. Then the second book is Terms and Conditions. This follows Iris and Declan. So the tropes in this book is marriage of convenience, age gap, office romance, grumpy ex-sunshine, enemies to lovers. So I don't find this as enemies to lovers. I would more say it's like not people, they don't necessarily like each other that much, but they tolerate one another, okay? Because she's good at her job, he's good at his, and she's his assistant. So their friendship isn't that good, but they work together, so they tolerate one another. It's not necessarily that they hate each other. Iris is best friends with Callahan, which is the other brother, not Rowan. Last book. Declan's part of the will is he needs to get married and have children for him to get his inheritance. Each girl that Iris sets up for him ends up leaving because Declan scares them away. He's been a real frustration in her life, and so this one girl says yes, they'll get married, and they have a whole party set up, an engagement party, and then she literally bounces out right as the party is supposed to happen. Iris is now panicking, and she, on an impulse, decides she's going to marry him, have the children with him, because she doesn't have much of a life. She always worked for him. She doesn't have a life. She's just like, you know what, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not seeing anything happen in my personal life. I might as well just have a kid. Like, very irresponsible in my opinion, but great for the storyline, because I do know people are like that, and you know what, YOLO, you only live once, do what you need to do. Declan is obviously skeptic, but you can, from the start you can see that Declan is attracted to her, but because he's a professional grumpy boss, he decides he's not gonna do anything on it. But them being married, living in the same house, being in each other's communications, changes the whole dynamic. And because it changes it and he doesn't have control, he's just being more of a grumpy asshole, in my opinion. Marriage of Convenience, it's just so good, because it's also like it's fake to everyone around them. Declan is the eldest of the 3, but you can also see it with his personality, in my opinion, because he's always the one taking lead, always trying. So one of the brothers comes to him with a problem and he fixes it. He pounces on things instead of being one of those people that is like, it's okay, you just need to breathe. He is the brother that actually does something and wants to fix it, which is not bad, but I can also say that sometimes people just need to hear life sucks and we move on. So he wants to become CEO, he wants his inheritance. CEO is the inheritance as well. I think he gets a promotion, and he needs to get married and have these kids, and obviously they end up falling in love and having their things happen to them. There's a breakup scene, obviously, and she's still not pregnant, and I thought that was going to play a huge part of it, but it doesn't. He doesn't care. He's just like, I don't care anymore, I just want you. It's so cute how he proposes and the house and everything. It's just like, he listened to her, he listened to the things she said, and he never forgot them. It's such a weird thing, but like things she says, he will always like remember and try to add to his daily life. She complains that she doesn't have much of a life. That was all the thing, because they were on the honeymoon and he keeps on trying to work, and she's like, I'm on my honeymoon with you and you want to work? Declan struggles to find that work-life balance and struggles to find respect for other people, because other people don't want to work 24/7 like he does. And I feel like Iris communication skills, they wasn't that good, but he did get the message and it did end up working out. I also feel like Declan had so much growth in him. He isn't somebody that just speaks now. He actually thinks before he talks. Their dad, he needs to go away. Like, why? I understand, like, but it's not like the main plot point, but this dad, he's just trying so hard. I feel sorry for these children because they lost their mother at a very early age, and the dad decides to go to drinking and he's not there. He was a great dad, and then suddenly he just changed, and he is this biggest jerk, hates life, takes it out on his kids. I would like to see his story as well, but with the way it ended, I don't want to anymore. But if it ended differently in the book, third book, I would have wanted to see his story, or I would have wanted a redemption arc. But I do feel like it was very much necessary for him not to get one, because otherwise Callahan wouldn't have that big move, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, this book is so good. I absolutely enjoyed reading this. The tension, the banter, the life, the actual problems that you can see in your day-to-day life, how they navigate through that, how they communicate. Sometimes the communications very much sucked, but other times it's really good. Little things that people sometimes think means nothing, it just keeps them popping up in these books. It's just the little things that count. It's not very surface level. It is this depth in the relationship, this understanding of why they like each other so much. It's not just because they're attracted to one another. It's because there are moments and words that are being said that just makes you want to fall in love. Iris is a queen, and Declan is definitely a queen king. Read the book. I gave the book 4 stars, and it's a great book. Then we have Final Offer. So this is the thickest one of the 3. We have Forced Proximity, Second Chance, Enemies to Lovers. So once I got this trope and I was like, is this Enemies to Lovers? I was like, no. But when it says this is Enemies to Lovers, I was like, 100% yes. 100% yes. Because the enemy part of this is solid. It makes sense to why they're enemies. And single parent. We're not going to dive into the single parent part of this book, because that is something you guys need to figure out what is happening there, that I feel like is a plot twist. Forced Proximity. So Callahan and Alana is the main characters. I'm gonna call them Lana and Cal because that is how they address each other in the book. It's just, they were like teenage lovers. They were sweethearts, high school sweethearts in my opinion. They didn't go to the same high school, but you get to see how they meet up as well. There's like flashbacks of what happened before and what is happening now. Callahan, he doesn't have any plans for his life. He is the YOLO brother. He is the free-spirited one that doesn't have any solid ground. He doesn't care, to be honest. And he's only doing the grandpa's will because of his other 2 brothers. They can't get their will unless Callahan. So what he has to do is sell one of the houses. But one of these houses is the one where Alana lives. This grandpa is cheeky, okay? No boundaries. Because he obviously knew they were breaking up. And the last time Callahan and Alana saw each other was when Callahan went out to talk to his father. He came back completely drunk. He has an alcoholic problem. And he just left Alana. And Alana was so confused. There was so many lies. There was just, because he said he stopped drinking and he never ended up doing. But Cal has a big problem, and now they do still like each other, but how she's struggling to trust him for valid reasons. But he never got aggressive, and that much I appreciate, because with books I do know that people go to extreme. And I'm glad that the problem wasn't that he was alcoholic. One of my favorite quotes is, it's just, I want to get drunk on life with you. And that means so much, because she's like, when they were younger, she would give him a post-it note. They had the cute way of speaking to one another. And she's like, I want to get drunk on life with you. And when he leaves, he tells her, I want you to fall in love with the real me, the sober me, the me that wants to get drunk on life with you. And the way it was delivered is so good. I wanted to start crying. So his dad ends up being in this rehab, and it's not based on the rehab, like literally that amount, I'm gonna say that not even that amount of the book is about the rehab. The rest is like cute moments of them setting boundaries, of her not wanting to sell the house she grew up in. It is also, she has a kid. There's like all of these like new emotions coming back and they have to face it. She bakes and their first kiss. What else do I need to say? Read this book literally solidly just for the first kiss. I want to say it's slow burn, but it's probably not. Cause I think their first kiss is at page 200. It's like halfway through the book, but it doesn't feel lengthy. He goes through a lot because he's the Kane brother that everybody ends up gossiping about. He's a washed up athlete, high functioning alcoholic. No one knows the real me but her. No one knows the real me but her. And he never wanted to go back to that lake house. But the grandpa, you know, the grandpa knew what he was doing. And she's very closed off, doesn't want to date, doesn't want to do anything. She tried dating, but that guy turned out to be the biggest jerk. Alana has had like alcoholic people in her family, and she always ends up taking care of them. And finally she's also saying, no, it's not my duty. I keep on giving you chances and you keep on disregarding them. It's so good. I like the way they meet. I like their banter. I like their love. I like literally everything about this book is so good. And it being at this lake house where all the memories and little things that happened flashes back at them. They're renovating it. And now Callahan is falling in love with her. And she doesn't want to sell the house, but he has to sell the house for the inheritance. And now he's trying to work a clever way out of like selling the house properly without it being weird, like without breaking the thing. But that's not the main plot point. Like there's so much happening in this book that there's nothing as the main plot line, but there's so much plot line in this book that is just so good. It's just so absolutely good. I like children in books because I know that's such a weird thing to say, because the children don't have filters, and sometimes some things just need to be said. And with normal romance books, the things just never get said. We always know they're thinking it, but when are they going to speak about it? And that's where I'm like, thank you, the child is there, because the child can see it. Somebody has to mention it out. So listen to the child, and that literally puts them that they have to literally communicate and speak through it, because without the child there, I don't think they would have ended up where they are now. I think the child opened up the doors that needed to be opened up, and it's just so good. The trauma that because they both have so much things in their life that goes on and so much negative people that they need to get rid of. It's just the cutest thing on this planet to see people fall in love with one another and choose one another. If I could date anybody, it would be Callahan. I call dibs. And he's the joke of the family, and the way he got respect is so good. We also get to see in this book that the inheritance is divided by 4, and it's just the 3, and they're just 3. So they figure out who the 4th person is, which is the dad, obviously, but that is like, we know that from like book 1 very early on. It's not a secret, so don't worry, I'm not giving any spoilers. And at the end they have to decide that they get to choose if the dad gets inheritance or can be a part of the company, not the dad, because the dad had to do something for the will, and he did not succeed. So it was up to the 3 brothers to decide if he gets to be a part of the company or not. He had the biggest power move of this on this planet, because he could finally show his dad that he's not a joke. But the way he does it is so clever and so respectful, and it's just so good, because these two hate their dad still. They could not care less about them, but because they went to the same rehab, they had a little moment, I guess. Big moments, because they also had moments with their dad, but not like, it wasn't big moments. And just the way Callahan decided to handle it and actually make an impact, and the way he did it was without being wrong. He was kind, but there was a malicious intent, I guess. It's just so good. It's just so good. And I love these characters. I think they are amazing. I like the second chance. I do think this is enemies to lovers because they hate each other. No, Alana hates him, and he's almost shy, and like, because he knows he treated her very badly with the breakup and how it all went down. I love the grandpa. Like, can we get the grandpa story, please? Like, I need to know what happened in the grandpa's life because he's such a wise old man. Knowing, because he literally set these 3 guys up with their wives. I don't think they had their breakup act. I just think he went to rehab and decided to be a better man for her. Like, obviously they had their fights and whatnot, but it's just, guys, these books, look how pretty they are. I think she went to, why is the covers different? Why is the covers different? I don't get it. That annoys me. But I would love to reread these books with you guys in like 6 months time. Annotate it, there's the word I was looking for, and give you all the spoilers and talk in depth. So this is you guys' 6-month warning, because in 6 months I'm going to speak about these books like never before, more than I am currently, and you guys are going to have to be there with me. So I'll put the pages of what pages I'm on the screen so that you guys can read it with me. That could be fun. That could be really fun. But guys, read this series if you want to know what it's really like to be in love and how it's like to like go through difficult situations in a relationship. Read these books if you want to see those little moments and what actually makes a relationship a working relationship. I appreciate these 3 so much. I gave Final Offer 5-star, but I would give all of them 5-star. I would, but I'm like, I can't do that. That's a little bit bad. So I gave them 4, 5. I never experienced love the way I have read this book, and if my romantic relationship is not like this, not this, because they were willing to fight for one another, and that is so good. They were willing to lose everything they have just to be with the person they love, and that is what I want. I want to feel that, and why they love each other that much is clear. It's not like, oh, she gave me a flower, now I'm obsessed with her. No, there's moments and there's difficulties and there's obstacles, and they choose each other regardless. And that is why these 3 books are chef's kiss and amazing. And I highly recommend you read these before it's too late. I hope you guys enjoyed me ranting about these books for quite some time. It was so much fun to film and just finally get it off my chest. I appreciate you guys also very much, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye guys.